Hello lovelies, welcome to Gemstone Tarot, Wednesday the 6th. Wednesday the 6th of August. Why am I having so much trouble with that? Wednesday the 6th of August, 2025. Moon in Capricorn. Yay. I love a moon in Capricorn. I have my moon in Capricorn, so I can kind of easily relate to it. It will also help in the sort of organisation of things that I've got going on here at the moment. I'm still on location in the boy's town, in his uni town, coming to you from his uni bedroom. Yes. The wall is featuring magnolia, which back in the day when I used to live in like shared houses and this kind of thing, we called that landlord's lake, because these are quite old houses. And there's quite a lot of that in the UK. There's a lot of sort of old houses, and landlords would get hold of them and just like buy these big buckets of magnolia paint and just slap it all over the walls. Usually it was with Donkey's Breakfast wallpaper. I have to say, these are actually plastered. I'm amazed, because the places that I lived in were basically held together by this, I think it's wood chip it's called, but this wood chip wallpaper. And you would have, like, if you touched it, or if heaven forbid if you fell against it, you could possibly fall through it. Do you know what I mean? It was like freaking Narnia. And that was what was holding the house together. I think it was just this sort of glue paste bobbly wall covered in landlord's lake. So this is very reminiscent for me, although it has been plastered at some point. Anywho, we are using today Shaman's Dream. Oh yes we are. We're having a look at 3 of these, and we're looking at it in terms of a triptych. Oh yes. What's that one? Ooh. I've been trying to do more of that and failing dismally. So we start off with Mindful, is it? Mindful. Oh yeah, like mindful. Mindful for me is a word that sparks terror in the same way that journey and inner child do. I'm trying to think if there are other words as well. It's that whole thing where you go to somebody if you have a problem and they go, have you heard of a thing called mindfulness? And you just think, oh God, you're going to ask me to eat that raisin and chew it 75 times. And I'm not going to do that. You know, it's that whole, it just winds me up, and I don't know why, but usually that means that we need to do more of it. So, okay, we have mindful, groupthink. Now, let me just have a look before I say it in the book to make sure. Let me put my readers on, because I know what I think this means. Yeah. Ooh, be careful of where you wander in your mind. You want to ensure that the seeds you plant will sprout and flourish. So don't scatter weeds. That's probably what I've been doing, I think. It's easy to be influenced by others right now, especially in our digital age. Well, this is a bit of an antithesis, because I'm saying it to you through a camera in our digital age. So it's hard to protect yourself from the energy and sheer amount of information bombarding you 24/7. I have been thinking about that. Don't allow fear and uncertainty to pollute your minds and emotions. Okay. Stay out of gossip. I love gossip. Who doesn't love gossip? I saw I can't know if we can mention other platforms, TikTok, the other day, which I just loved. It was this guy, and he just did this one that said, my favourite kind of phone call. And it just says, bring. You answer, no one does that, it's a 1980s phone, but whatever, you know. To be honest, my ringtone is from GTA because the boy put it on my phone. It's like this massive sort of funky song that just blasts down the high street really embarrassingly. But when let's say bring, phone goes, and somebody says, "Hi, can I be a real bitch?" And he's like, that is my favourite, like, yes, that is my favourite kind of phone call. So I do love a gossip, and I'd always thought that gossiping released some kind, maybe this is just what people say to make you feel better, released some kind of like stress. And also I do find sometimes that people who say, you know, I never gossip, I don't like to gossip, you just think, oh God, really? I love it. Gossip is great. Gossip is a very bonding thing as well. And I don't know, maybe I've got Venus in Aquarius. I like talking to loads of different people and I love the gossip. I love the goss. But let's just take this on board, okay? With a pinch of salt, maybe. Stay out of gossip and other forms of groupthink. Okay. When you cut another person down to their level due to their perceived mistakes or limit them by your envy, you activate lack for yourself. You can gossip, but try and do it with a fair hand. That's as good as I can give you because I love a gossip. Imagine your universe unfettered by scarcity and alive with abundant hope and goodness. Okay, keep the faith, as Bon Jovi once said. More love, gratitude, and more things to be grateful for. Fair enough, I can do that. Then we have Spirit of the River. Movement towards adventure. I love this because it's a kind of, and we've had a lot of wave stuff going on, and it's good because I'm kind of near the sea at the moment and I'm loving looking at it. When you get Spirit of the River, it's like following a wave of abundance and excitement. But it's also something that's in alignment with you. So it kind of suggests that it was already there to begin with. Okay, so it's not like taking a leap, it's more like surfing a wave. I like that. And then the last one, which kind of keys into the first one, is deep quiet. And this is really, really difficult to achieve. Meditation and stillness. I can do this sometimes, but I am quite a busy-minded person. I think a lot of us are, and like we say, we are being bombarded with information 24/7. And back in the day, and I don't know if this is better or worse, we would have lived in a village where we saw the same 30 people day in, day out, and maybe we never, I know certainly my grandparents, they never went abroad and they never left, well, they did leave their town occasionally. They might have gone on a British seaside holiday, but that's it, maybe once every few years. But I don't know, I see I'm arguing with Shaman's Dream here. I'm doing that tarot reader argues with the cards. Were my grandparents more fulfilled and happy than I am, than my generation? They were always worried about money. They were always in a scarcity mindset. My grandparents were, and I don't know if yours were too. To the point that even if they had money or got money, I feel like it wouldn't have really altered that scarcity mindset. So I'm kind of taking this with a pinch of salt, which probably means that I should be doing more of this. But there's something here about, this is how I interpret it. You don't necessarily have to clean and clear your mind, but you do need to be in a wave of alignment. And your alignment might involve being in a very crowded space and having lots of messages coming at you, but at the same time having the clarity of who you are. And that is your spirit and a movement towards adventure, because it sounds really surf duty because I'm in a surfy place. If life is a wave, then it's fun to be riding that wave however you can. And it's something about, they talk about clean waves, finding a clean wave rather than a messy one. That's as much as I can clear it up. You don't necessarily have to be like pure and, you know, singular and clear out all of the clutter, and you never on social media and you don't this and you don't that, and you're, what do they call it when people do that? You're having like a D something social media thing when you unplug, you're sort of going off grid. I don't know, I'm not for that. It's like the same thing for me with tarot cards. I'm not for constantly cleansing tarot cards. I think the more use they get, the more readings they do, the more almost mess you introduce them to, the richer they become. So mindful groupthink, don't, if you gossip, do it with a fair hand. I mean, kudos to you if you don't gossip, but you're not interesting to have coffee with. Sorry, don't mean that. Do mean it. Spirit of the river, catch the wave, keep it clean. That doesn't mean spotless, that just means in alignment with you. And deep quiet meditation and stillness, but it can be through having a night in with your dog or watching a particular mindless thing on streaming. It doesn't have to be pure and and swinging the old incest around and giving it a singing bowl and all the rest of it. Don't have to do that. It can just be snatching a quiet moment for yourself, even in a crowded place. We got there. I'll see you soon. Namaste.